Welcome to class, Conspiracy Hat Wearing 101. Now, as you can see, I've brought my raw material, aluminium foil.
Aluminum.
The reason for the choice of aluminium is the fact that the elite that follow us through means of whether it be telecommunication or listening aids such as microphones or such items like that, the aluminium actually protects us from the radiation or the laser beams that hit our foreheads to gain the knowledge inside our brains.
And 5G. You look like a KKK member, Lon.
Get in there, folks. Just give me a second. Be a little patient. In my mind, this looked a lot better. How does that look?
Alright, now that Inan's done with his fucking tinfoil hat. We're back again. We're obviously missing a gang member today, as Inan still fidgets with his stuff about his hat. Fatih will not be joining us today because he received some sad news. We told him to use protection, but he's gone and got himself fucking pregnant. So, I don't know. We always thought he was a man, but he's obviously not.
He hit it so well.
But yeah, a huge congratulations to Fatih and Chala, who last week gave, Fatih's missus gave birth to a boy. They're currently downstairs at the moment having this mini celebration sort of thing with the family. We have to be quiet. But just a big message for people who watch us. Obviously, last week, we did that episode on being a dad, being a father, and then a night later, Fatih had his son. So, if there's any ladies out there who are like 7 months pregnant, they want their kid to come into the world a little bit early, just let us know. We'll shout you out, and you'll give birth the next day. Do not take drugs. Do not get yourself induced.
Come to us.
Small talk does it. Like,
yeah,
we will make it happen.
We guarantee it.
But going on to more medical news, just to. I want this to be on the episode just so that we know. As of midnight tonight in Sydney, you have to be wearing a face mask. If you're in like a public area,
Boo.
blah blah.
Boo.
Are you doing this, Inan?
No, I didn't do it for the first one. Why would I do it for the second one?
But the first one, it wasn't obligatory, right? This time they're going to be issuing fines of $220.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, what are they going to just start? Like, how many coppers? Like, all right, let's go into it. Okay, police. How many police? Actually, relating to police, I'm sure all of you were aware the area put off a better show than the actual Harbour Bridge did. In my opinion, anyways. I mean, you were home, were you?
I was not in the area, but I wasn't too far. I was at my dad's house, and
okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
we had.
Oh, you would have drove through for Granville and that Auburn.
Dude, the celebrations in Granville and Auburn for
We're the
Christmas.
best. We're the best.
They started in August. We've had fireworks for the last 6 months.
This is why, like, if the people outside of the area or the west, which is most predominantly the area, as we call it, it was lively. The atmosphere was there. In my opinion, yeah, safety wise, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't there. With all the fireworks going off and whatnot. No, obviously, I'm not going to be like, oh, it was hectic, blah, blah. There was a few hazards, that, obviously, kids were around and stuff. But it turned out all right. I mean, there wasn't any reports of anyone burning themselves or blowing up something or houses on fire because of fireworks. So, for people, we take care of the...
We look after the environment while we break the law.
But no, like, coming back to my point, I saw all the Snapchats of the coppers, the riots. God, man, there was a lot of people. Unless it was like just a video effect. You know how they have that effect where media records something and it makes it look bigger than what it is? Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, there was a lot of riot police and the riot squad, the ones that are dressed in the blue overalls and whatnot. And they were sent out and through Melbourne and Sydney, from what I saw. And it just goes to show, like, going down an actual different rate. I mean, coming back to your point of wearing the mask, like we're slowly letting our freedoms go to, you know, and we're being policed. Now we're being proper policed, like to the point where now we have to be wearing masks. Like my own safety, whether, you know, it's the government's choice or not, is my choice. You know what I mean? Like, we're slowly letting them have our rights.
Yeah, I think, look, it's the safety of other people as well. You blowing up fireworks,
Yeah,
you're
of
going to hurt
course, don't
yourself,
get me
it's you. But if you're going to hurt somebody else... Look, I don't think it can be policed. I live in a place... I'm not going to tell you my address, but I have about 10 parks around my house, and there's fireworks going off for all 10 parks. You know, like, which one do you
Because it's
stop?
free entertainment.
And look, I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was you telling me, but apparently like a cop came down to the park and was like actually watching the fireworks, and they actually joined in on the whole entertainment of it as well. So,
Well, good on him. I mean, you know, he's a proper, I don't know, civil servant, as you can say. Like, he works for for society, you know, to protect
for
us.
the community, yeah.
Oh, for community, my mistake. Like, cuz good on him, man. You know, make sure there's nothing going on. You know, sit there, be quiet. Is it better than running after, you know, 30 lebos that are trying to light fireworks? You know, they're not harming anyone. They're not drunk. They're not trying to, you know, rape people or anything. Yet you got all those sick people around this city area doing all the shit that they do. You know, being drunk individuals and whatnot. And then, you know, you're not come, you know, wreck the fun of a few fireworks.
That's right. Look, but a massive hat off to these guys. I don't know where they're getting these fireworks from, but they are bigger than the ones that they set off on the
That's
Harbour
what
Bridge.
I mean, cuz.
They are massive.
I made that point, bro. The area, they proper represented this year, man. Like,
Apparently last week, this happened in my dad's street where these guys were driving around in a car, putting the firework and then driving off, right, with these massive ones. And these guys dropped the firework and it went sideways. One of those massive ones that blow.
yeah, I've done that.
Dad's like, there was like cricket ball sized balls flying out of it, just flying onto people's windows, hitting people's cars and stuff. He's like, it was so loud that the whole neighborhood just came out on the street like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, the fireworks I saw were setting off alarms for cars.
Yeah, and I don't know how big these, like, we had cherry bombs when we were kids.
Yeah, I know. Where
They
are
were
they?
like this.
Cause no, it's boxes. Like, imagine like a cucumber box. Like, we've all bought boxes of cucumber. Cause the proper size of a cucumber box. Like, just to put it into size, you know. And these guys are lighting a one, and she's going pew, pew, pew. Like, bro, this is stuff that you're like, where do they get
They're
this from? Like,
professional.
surely.
Look, back in the days, when we used to go to the Snowy Mountains, it was a tradition for us. We would go through Canberra and buy fireworks, right? And you'd be like in this store. It's like being in a lolly shop, right? You're like, oh, which one do we get? And you're asking the guy, he's like, oh, these ones do these. It was so upsetting as a kid that my dad would get those parachute ones, you know, and the parachute would come down, and 90% of them don't fucking work. And then they'd have like this Eagle Skybuster 4000. It's like, let's get this. And he's like, nah, let's not. But
You reckon it was the price tag
probably. But you know, I'll tell you two stories of when we set off fireworks. So it was never us; it was the adults doing it. So one of them, when we were at the Snow Mountains, we stay in this place that has cabins. We're quite far from, you know, the snowfields, but we get to have a fire there, and we would book out all the little cabins there, right? Yeah. So we're like standing on the mini balcony of these cabins, and my uncle lights one up, I think, and he yells out that it fell. So it was one of those ones that go pew 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 like forever, right? And because it fell sideways, it was shooting at the cabins. Right, we're like running behind cars. I swear to God, this image will never leave my head. My sister jumped headfirst out of a balcony, and the thing hit the wall behind her. Like, it was just dangerous. The other thing is, we used to go fishing in a place called Iluka. It's up north. And everyone comes to this beach, and they set off their fireworks, right? We had like a little bit of fireworks left over from the snow, but we had like flares that we got off the boat. They were about to expire, so we just we have flares. So everyone's on this beach, and everyone takes turns going on it, right? Dude, I think it was my dad, my uncle, and my dad. They walked down, and once again they made the rockets fall down and started shooting at the cars where they were parked. I swear to God, everyone jumped in their cars and went home. Like, it was the end of the party. They're like, nah, fuck this. We're not doing it with these guys here.
Because it was just straighty 180s.
Pretty much. But it's a small little town, so they've never seen anyone die before.
Like, you think you'd think that because they were in such a small, lazy town, you think, all right, let's have some fun tonight. Nah, pack it up, guys. This is too extreme for us.
Pretty much, bro.
But anyways, coming back to your original point, the mask. What do you think? Well, I mean, obviously we're not gonna... Bro, like, I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, if the government... I'll wear a mask if the government's gonna pay for it.
Look, that's the thing. So,
like, if they're gonna enforce it, bro, you have to pay for it. I'm not going to go out of my own pickle. Now, I've heard that my wife was saying they've tripled the price of face masks again.
Bro, the whole thing seems like revenue raising. So every year we know that during this time, there's a lot more cops on the road. There's more fine. What is it? They weren't getting enough fines, so they're like, let's get the face mask in. We'll bust a few people. Easy money.
Yeah, it could be easy. Yeah.
Like, I understand for the safety of people, but like you said, so the law comes in tonight, midnight, but they're not giving out fines until Monday. Bro, I don't even have face masks at home.
That's what I mean. I've got one face mask, and that was since, like, this year, March. So, like, I don't even know if it's safe to wear. You know what I mean? Considering it's going to pick up all that dust particles and whatnot. So, it's like, it'll probably be doing the opposite of actually protecting me. Yeah, it might actually harm me.
Make you sicker, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've got one from a COVID test that I did. So they gave me one when I went for the COVID test.
Yeah.
I have that one. It's dirty. I might just walk around in my gas mask, like the full, like we're going into a freaking nuclear war.
I got a
thing.
Parramatta Eels one.
You have one?
Yeah, JJ bought me one. Shout out to JJ. He bought us one for the last game before he left and became a Melbourne Storm supporter.
Yuck. Well, look, I don't know when I'm going to go back to work. Well, I go back in a week. I don't know if this law is going to stick around that. Is this going to be a forever thing, or like they're going to change this later on?
That's what I mean. Like, because we're just slowly letting them have our lives. Like, we're slowly letting them, here you go, here you go, open the gate for us, keep us in our little pens, it's, running around like headless chooks. If you think about it, put us in terms of a metaphor. That's where I think that's where we're heading down.
I'm all for like
we mentioned before in past episodes the fact that now we have to take the jab to fly. We just gave up another freedom of ours.
Yeah.
Where's our choice? Maybe I don't want that for whatever reason it may be. I don't have to fucking defy. I don't have to tell people what reason I choose to let something into my body. Plain and simple. Doesn't matter if it's going to help the society or not. That is my choice.
Yeah.
If that was the case, why would my parents have to leave their country to come to this country, considering that everyone says, this is free?
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, at the same time as well, it goes back on everything, man. It's like your kid can't be enrolled into a school until they have their thing.
That's what I mean.
It's a double-edged sword. Do you not get it done because you don't want to go into your body, but then, like, people who get it done are going to be like, man, I don't want my kid around a kid who hasn't been vaccinated and whatnot. But you know what I don't understand about that? Here's a question, right? If your kid's been vaccinated, let's say for the measles, whatever, right? And there's a kid in there who hasn't been vaccinated for the measles, and he gets the measles, isn't your kid, like, covered? Or does that just defeat the purpose of getting the thing in the first place? So if I've gotten the vaccination and you don't, and you get the measles, is there a chance that I can get it off you?
No. Well, they say that you're like 90-something% chance of recovering from measles regardless.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? So
let's say
with
COVID.
enough antibiotics, regardless of the vaccination or not, you know what I mean? It still doesn't stop you 100% getting the measles.
That's right. There's still a chance.
You know what I mean?
Let's say with COVID, if you've gotten the vaccination and I don't, if I have COVID, you shouldn't be worrying because you've been vaccinated.
That's true too. Yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point.
So I don't understand. Like,
what are people complaining about?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you get these, high on their horses people, going, oh, we need to do this for society. Like, I like to think of them as the, it's a bit of a cliche, but you call them sheeps for a reason, sheeps just listen to the, what's the guy with the stick?
Shepherd?
Shepherd, yeah. You know what I mean? They're pretty much being shepherded by the government. Going, here you go, guys. Yeah, you take this vaccine. Yeah, you take this. Oh, yeah, we're going to start taxing you on this now. Like, call me crazy.
He's going to put it on.
That's coming on.
He's got it on.
That's coming on. So the government doesn't read my... So the government doesn't get me. All right, I'm protected. Like Magneto. Think about it. Anyways. Where are we going?
You actually did a good job with those wings, bro.
Because I bent it. But I feel like I'm the villain in Avengers, the first one. Thing's brother, Thor's brother. Where were we going?
You were saying something about the government.
Losing our freedom or giving our freedoms away so easily.
Yeah.
Like there's I know in America there's a few bills that are being put in place by Trump, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't read about it, so I'm going off this a bit blind. So whatever I can say be it could be misinformed.
Take it with
exactly.
Take it with a
This
lot
is
of
entertainment. I'm not a fucking media out there here. You know what I mean? So don't be messaging going, hey, you said this and that, but that's not factual. Blah. Shut up. All right, this is my opinion, and just hear it out.
If you do that and send a comment down below, we're gonna send you a tinfoil hat. Mark my words.
And signed by me. What is it? Freedom, government. That's what we were on about. I feel like we just lost that. Putting on the hat, got sidetracked.
Yeah.
But I feel like, bro, it's just gonna get harder for us. You know what I mean? Now we're not allowed to leave the country, bro. I want to go overseas. Like, I understand me going there, getting COVID and bringing it back. I understand the whole process of that leading to an outbreak, obviously, with me, transmitting the disease to everyone. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I present that. But, I mean, so what do we do now? Do we just stay and hide? And we go, we got to protect our life. Like, surely we're just going to live in fear all our life. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to be like this forever?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, we haven't had something like this hit for such a long time. With the flu's been around and it goes around every year and it kills more people probably per percentage. I'm not arguing facts or statistics here. But coming back to your point about not being able to leave the country, I think you're allowed to leave because we've had relatives go overseas as long as it's a country that accepts people coming in. But obviously, both our backgrounds being Turkish.
Yeah, but you got to go through a strenuous process.
Right. And you have to also, they pretty much tell you the night before when you can fly out. There's a spot on a plane, you got to jump out.
You got to pay a stupid amount of money too.
Yeah, because apparently it goes off how many first class tickets they've sold because that's how they're making their money to cover the flights, which is fair enough because if you're flying a plane for 3 people and it's not covering the fuel you're spending for it, no aircraft's going to take off.
Exactly.
But coming back to it, so Turkey is very, very different. So Turkey is they're sort of like cashing in on this whole thing.
Because apparently they're running out of cloth to wrap people up after they've died. Like they're saying on the weekend it's getting that busy that we're running out of places to put the dead.
Well, I think that was the problem that they had in Italy initially as well. In America, they had them just in like freezer trucks. But I think Turkey is one of those countries that's trying to cash in on this whole thing because most countries in Europe are like, no, you can't travel here, you can't come here on holidays. And Turkey's pretty much like, our borders are open, man, come spend money here. But the citizens are getting pissed off with it because they're like, look, man, you guys are you're telling us to stay inside, you're telling us to, and then you're taking all these people inside who are, potentially carrying the whole disease. So, bro, it comes down to this. You can't make everyone happy, right? You close the borders and you piss people off. You open the borders, you're going to piss people off.
I'm not one to go, Scott Morrison's a fucking dope because he's thinking, dude, you sit in his position and try to make the decisions that he's making. You know what I mean? You're never
going to make everybody happy. There's always going to be someone who's whinging about something.
Exactly, cuz. Yeah, bro, I did a bit of a managing gig before Christmas. I mean, you just can't make anyone happy, bro. I worked with about 30, 40 people. And, trying to make everyone happy was so stressful that by the end of the whole process, I just went, fuck you all. Whatever I say, we're doing, that's it, shut the fuck up.
That's pretty much...
And now I realize why managers and supervisors are such dickheads because they have to be. They deal with so many people.
Yeah, and I think it comes back down to why we have, policies and laws and stuff like that. Yeah. Because, bro, managers are just like... I remember when I was working at Macca's. You've worked at Macca's before, right?
No, I did one shift.
There is like very, very strict procedure on doing things. Like you got to have the potatoes out for 15 minutes before you put them in the vat. Before you do this, if it's been out for 30 minutes, you can't use it. And you're like, bro, what difference does it make if I had it out for 35 minutes? It's just like
it makes a bit.
It's just policy. Just follow policy.
No, I think
like that way you're not arguing with your manager. You're arguing with higher ups. Like it's like, bro, don't take it
because
up with me.
With McDonald's, like I'm sure you would agree with me. They have their process of cooking things their way because it's the best way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or it's the most productive or efficient way.
It comes down to productivity and it comes down to efficiency and it also comes down to like health. For example, bro, every morning the first like patties you put on the grill, they go under a thermometer because they want to see that the grill's working at the right temperature. It's being closed, like the grill presses for the right amount of time, so that the meat, the center of the meat, is a certain temperature, which you're not going to die from. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if that was wrong, then you went through this whole strenuous process of changing the settings, redoing it,
and then have to do it again.
Exactly, until you got the temperature right. Yeah. But in terms of a business model, I don't think there's a better model than McDonald's. And I'm not even
No.
saying this to put them ahead of other.
Because it's just the truth.
It's
the
the best
straight
model.
out blatant truth.
It's the best model. You can't beat it. So when it comes down to, you can't argue with your manager at Macca's because everything's procedure, everything's written down, everything's in a book.
It's like an army hierarchy almost. You got the manager, the whole building, or not building, but the whole franchise or owner, and then you got your manager, and then you got your franchise bullshit, like analyzer or whatever you want to call him. I used to work for a guy who used to be a franchise something for McDonald's. He was on like a 6-figure income, and he used to go around telling owners how to what things or what processes their workers were doing slowly, or how they could improve their business efficiently, like you mentioned before. But yeah, bro. Coming back to your point, McDonald's, bro. Like if you want to open up your own, I don't know, hospitality outlet or like a cafe, there's no other better example than McDonald's is.
The beauty of it is, besides their fresh produce, like your tomatoes and stuff like that, everything they use is their own brand.
Yeah.
Like their cleaning products is
Yep.
all McDonald's labeled. Yeah, even their lettuce come in McDonald's box. It's only like tomatoes that aren't like McDonald's labeled things. Like everything from your cleaning products to your sauces to like even they would use a certain spatula to break the yolk of the eggs when you're making it. If you lost that spatula, you can't just go to Woolies and get one. It'll just be like it's not Macca's verified for you to use that to make eggs.
Yeah.
So yeah, like coming back to wrap it up with your point, it just comes down to that's why procedures are there. That's why you can't make people happy. One way or another, someone's going to be whinging. But just like the face mask rule, bro, if it's in writing, you can't argue with it because it's already been passed in government, blah blah. So it's an agreed law.
Can I put this in perspective as an example? You know what this is going to be? This is going to be like us using our phones in the car. We all do it. But it's only a matter of chance of whether you get caught or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're still going to have the 3-4 people going around. Like it's probably going to be a phase for a week or two where people are going to be all wearing masks. And then eventually it's going to come down to, it's going to slowly, the transmission is dying down. So now, we can go back to living our lives freely. And then in another month, they'll be like, government will be like, all right, we got to put these sheeps back in line. So 15 transmissions been, in the Western Sydney, blah, blah, blah.
Put your mask back on.
You know what I mean?
And it comes down to complacency. I don't know. I had a shave this morning.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I become really complacent about, right? I shave with a cutthroat, bro, and it's not forgiving at all.
Yeah.
When I walked into the shower this morning,
Stung.
I was a bloodbath, bro. I had blood all over my chin. Like, this one here, it was like the first cut of the day. I went, and I cut it sideways. I'm like, oh, when it hurts? You've cut deep. Like, usually I don't even feel it.
What's wrong with the Gillettes? They got the 5 blades. They're perfect.
You know why I don't like them? They don't cut as clean, one.
They do. They're smooth. Cut smoother than my kid's bum.
Nah. Cutthroat goes into your soul and removes the hairs. And I hate the fact that they become blocked, bro. I hate shaking under the water for 10 minutes. Whereas the cutthroat, I'm just like...
Because you need a bowl of water where you go like that into the water instead of under the tap. Of course.
Yeah, I know, but still, I don't want to be shaking it.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, just complacency
Yeah.
with, everything that happens, especially with like COVID and stuff like that. We stopped caring, bro. I remember we were at Hurstville and we were going down the elevator with one of the boys, and one of the first year apprentices was standing too close to a lady, and she's like, can you move away from me? You need to stay a meter and a half. No one cares anymore, bro.
Nah, you get those few shrugs from the bitches that don't say nothing. They're like looking at you like, hey, mate, you're supposed to be 1.5 meters away from me. I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna shout at me in front of everyone? Like, or are you gonna force me out? Like, I realize obviously I'm not gonna be one to go in front of everyone just to piss everyone off.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a mistake and you want me to stand 1.5 meter from you, I will. But there's no need to be dickheads. Then go, hey, fucking, 1.5 meter me. Like, you got those people that are just strict. They follow exactly what the media tell them, and then government's saying we got to do this. That's it. And then you got their own form of like, what do you want to call it? Mercenary, fucking Karens. You know what I mean?
they become socially...
and they just walk around the house. I was like, oh, police, Crime Stoppers, fucking, my neighbor, 64, I don't know his name, but, he's not wearing a mask and he's walking outside. I need you to come down and fucking find him.
Yeah. But that's also the Western Sydney boy and / Aussie culture, and it's like, she'll be right. Like, we don't really care too much about too many things. But moving on from the COVID thing because it's boring and I don't really want to talk about
It's
it. I'm going to put Inan on the spot here because a couple of weeks ago, this gentleman here said that stand-up is easy and that he can do stand-up while on the show. So
Yeah, I can do it.
I'm going to let you take it
I'll
away.
give you
Inan.
about a minute or two. It's not even a minute.
It's not even a minute. Are you going dad jokes here or what are you doing?
No, I'm gonna have a proper
Yeah?
joke.
Open mic here.
Open mic joke.
Open
yeah.
mic.
Okay. I don't know how I was gonna start this out. To be honest, I mean, from all my examples, I mean, I like watching comedians. One of my favorite ones being Dave Chappelle. He's pretty savvy with everyone. But I think my ultimate would be Bill Burr. If you guys like angry guys or angry men and, you know, complaining about things, I definitely recommend watching he's got a podcast up as well, the Monday Morning Podcast, which is excellent. It's pure entertainment for free.
We do not advertise on this podcast.
No, I'm advertising because, you know what, he's such a genuine individual that there really is no lying in him as a Scarface.
There's no lying in you.
There's no lying in you, Tony. But no, it really isn't. Like, he's just so genuine. And I relate to him a lot because he's got 2 kids. I got 2 kids. We're both angry people. But, you know, going on to this joke, I'm just going to go through, you know, one of these things I came up. If it's a bit rusty, I don't care. But I'll give it a crack.
Before he starts, look, let us know how he goes, please. We want to hear comments. We'll shout you out next week if you do leave comments.
I'll buy everyone a coffee if they give me a ha comment.
And this guy's a bit of a troll online, so if you want to troll him, if you want to like make some nasty comments, we're open to those too. So give us your best.
But anyways, how are we, guys? We all have our bad habits, of course. One of the experiences I'd like to talk about today is maybe a moment I had with my son today, my 7-month-old. But coming back to what I want to talk about is revenge. We all go through small forms of revenge, whether it be, you know, getting back at your wife or getting back at, you know, a brother or a sister, or even, you know, someone you work with. We all have those slight digs, whether, you know, regardless of how moderate or how mild it may be. But I mean, I just want to talk about how petty we can get sometimes as people. You know, with our revenge. I mean, for instance, my 7-month-old, you'd be thinking to yourself, what form of revenge would my son be copping? But just today, I mean, he was falling asleep. I had breakfast with my wife, and what happened was she went to go get coffee for us. She went with my other firstborn, and I noticed he was sleepy. And usually, I mean, parents would understand. From like 0 to a year-old children, they usually like being swaddled, depending on their routine. Okay, coming back to the revenge part was this is how petty I was. I mean, kids generally wake us up at night. Yeah, it annoys us. Well, not so much me, but my wife. But I thought, you know what, on my wife's part, I'd get some revenge. And that being when my child was trying to sleep, like as he was dozing off into that sweet part of, you know, he was just getting into sleep. I wake him up. I'm just like, hey, you know, wake up, man. I just went, you know, like I mimicked him crying like he does at night with me, or my wife actually, majority of the time. And he just gave me this look, and he went, it's like, are you fucking serious? Like he really, like, if I could describe, I've actually got video footage of it. Maybe we'll put it up, of him looking at me like, what the fuck, are you serious? Like, what the fuck are you seriously bothering me? So I did this about 4 or 5 times. I mean, this is how petty I was in terms of my revenge and the form that I went down. But coming back down, I mean, I'm sure we can all agree that we have our forms of revenge, whether it be with people we work with. Maybe we work in customer sales and, you know, we try to get that revenge on thing. I mean, revenge, we think of revenge and we think that we're going to go kill someone because someone's done something to us. You know, we think of that high stake, if you want to call it that. But I mean, you know, coming down, there's all sorts of revenge. I mean, I'm sure we all go through it, and that was my little experience I thought I'd talk about.
You're an evil fucking man. You are fucking evil.
Not really.
But look, going on revenge, I couldn't help but think, if I had one, I think I've told you this before, if I had one superpower, it would be, you know, Jumper, the movie Jumper, to be able to teleport to places. Those people who fucking kill me on Apex, and I've only got a smidge of life left, and they've only got a smidge of life left. I want to teleport and just fucking whack, and then come back and just be like, fuck you, cunt. Just building this case. We play with a friend of ours, Inan, who gets really, really angry. If the cancer numbers in the next 12 months go up higher, it's because he is praying cancer on everyone who kills him. So, like, I'm,
Now, you know what we'll go down a gaming route. Modern Warfare did this excellent. I mean, just to increase the competition between other players. This doesn't happen in Apex. I mean, I know you and me, we both play Apex. That's probably the main game that we play at the moment. But Modern Warfare, when you kill the guy, you can hear him for like 5 seconds saying like, "Oh, you're a little bitch, suck shit, you little shit cunt," you know. Whereas Apex needs to adopt that, because when you die, it's already a shit feeling, and you need that like if it was me, if I was killing guys, I'd be going, "Yeah, suck shit, you little dog. What, you think you're gonna fucking kill me?" Like, laugh at them, you know, just make them burn that little bit more, because, you know, it wasn't enough that I killed them and I beat them in that competition, but I had to add that extra bit of, you know, salt at the top.
the thing with Apex is, for a game that requires so much communication, 90% of people don't have a microphone. So even if you did kill them, you're not going to be hearing them swearing and stuff. But I do agree. I think bringing that into Apex would make it fun. But also at the same time, I can see why Apex wouldn't want to do it, because it's going to be a complete call out. Be like, "Oh, you completely copied Modern Warfare." Bro, if it's a good feature, I think
who cares? It's a good feature.
It.
Like, seriously, what did Modern Warfare set the staple to, you know, what you can and can't do? Like, come on, bro.
There's always a comparison.
Like, Modern Warfare copied the whole Battle Royale thing. But then again, Apex did it too before Fortnite. So, like, what are you complaining about? Oh, is that what they're complaining about?
No. There's
I'm
just
getting
this,
full
you know,
high
like,
agenda.
when you get into a conversation about people who play Modern Warfare, it's always like, "Oh, go back to your anime shit. Oh, yeah, go back to a game where you can't hear anything." So there's always this comparison between the two games. It's going to be like, "Oh, see, Apex was shit, so they copied Modern Warfare."
Yeah.
But I think Apex, if you're listening, please bring it in, because there's a couple of words I'd like to say to those motherfuckers who kill me. So it's when you die, right? Can the killer talk to the person who's died as well?
They hear their mic for like 5 seconds, or not even 5 seconds, but you just hear it like laughing. Like, if you watch the clips of Modern Warfare's like extreme kills or funny kills, you usually get that. So it's like usually the guy going, "Suck shit, boy," you know, and like super things like that.
So you can communicate to each other?
No, you can't communicate. It's just that brief after you're dead, you hear the 5 seconds or the 10 seconds of the guy talking shit to you before you die. So it'd be like laughing, or you can hear both of each other.
Okay, so both.
Both he's gonna hear. So you know, like he calls you, and then you're like, "Oh, fuck you! I'm gonna fucking rape you," you know, blah blah blah, whatever. I mean, obviously we're not gonna be doing that, but you know what I mean. We've been playing a fair bit of Apex. I gotta say, it's a game. I tried to hop off this week because obviously I've been painting my house and haven't had much time to play. I actually got into Cyberpunk a little bit more. I've been enjoying it. The game is really slow until you actually meet Keanu Reeves, and then it's pretty much training by the time that happens, right? It's like setting the story, and then the whole world pretty much unlocks, and you have all these side missions you can do and stuff like that. But I want to take back some of the stuff I said about the world. The world is actually not too bad. I mean, early stages, I think it seemed a little bit crappy, but I don't know if I've just gotten used to it, or if the game. So you're still unhappy with the game?
No, look, at first I found it hard to captivate me. It took me a long time to get captured. Like,
whereas if it doesn't get you in the first, an hour that you play
exactly.
it? Like, when you said I think you were going 5 minutes.
What, into the game?
Yeah.
No, I played like 3 hours when I last spoke about it.
If you're not captivated or you're not addicted, it's
look,
done.
Red Dead Redemption, I never finished the game. I became too bored with it by the time I got through it, but it had me in the first hour.
Yeah, of course.
You know? Like,
that whole,
GTA 5, you're doing a heist and you get busted at the start.
Because you reckon we're not being entertained because we've been exposed to so much games and movies and so many forms of gaming that now we're just immune to the, like, it's nothing new to us.
Yeah, there's that element. Also, there's this, man. I've gotten so used to Battle Royale that it's like action straight away, right?
Yeah.
I sort
There's
of,
none of this.
It took me a long time to get back into, like, the last time I did it, I played Witcher. I couldn't be bothered with a story.
Yeah, me neither.
I just wanted to
want to kill people, bro.
Like, I just wanted to
kill, shoot, punch people, just kill everyone.
Yeah, so I couldn't be bothered for the whole story element of it. And I think coming out of Apex and, like, out of Battle Royale in general, it's made it hard to jump into a game that has a storyline. That's why it took me so long. But everyone is saying that Cyberpunk is really, really slow. In saying that, though, I've just been finding that Apex has become more and more entertaining.
Yeah, bro. It's so simple, cuz I don't have to like think about how did this start or where do I go. You just go straight in, bang, action. It's like kill or be killed.
That's right. And we've been finding lately, I'm almost done with my battle pass. Like, I've finished all my achievements, so I've just been playing for fun. And it's Fatih and I can become really serious on there, where we're like, it's almost like we're in a real war. We'll be
Yeah,
like communicating left, right. We're
the
going
amount
right
of
flank,
tactics we implement in the game is so military, like I don't know, military structure where it's like, all right, get into the building, close the door, or you cover me while I heal him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basic things. I mean, we've all watched the movies and you see them, and a majority of the movies get it right most of the time in terms of how the army or certain military organizations go through the tactics and the whole strategy of how they fight. I don't know, fucking gun battles or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are implemented. I noticed just the other day, like certain little things where it's like, get up on high ground, and naturally I think they're taught that, if I'm not mistaken, in the army. Obviously, height difference, making use of the terrain around you and not being bogged down into one little pit where everyone can just come in and shoot you like, fishes in a barrel.
That's right. And when you're moving to a new spot, I try and now think like, okay, I can go straight through here, but it leaves me completely open, or I can go around where there's going to be rock cover.
As well, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you're setting up the team. You sort of know they're going to move here, so let's move here on them. But the last couple of nights, I haven't been taking it seriously at all. Like, last night, I got 3 kills by punching people.
Because I find that's the funnest part of the game.
It is.
Because it's like, you run out of bullets, it's like, oh, I should get him. And it's so satisfying when you actually kill that person.
At the same time, both you and Fatu were down, so there was a pressure of me. I was inside. I was on, like, a smidge of health. I had enough time to like heal a little bit, and I can see that the guy I'm facing is dumb. He's shooting at you guys when you're down, and he doesn't know what he's doing. The pressure, I was like, man, if I stuff this up, I'm going to get laughed at so hard. So I got up the top, started shooting this guy, broke his shield, got him down to like a smidge of health, and I ran out of ammo. And it was the second time in a row that game that I had run out of ammo. I was just like punching this guy. And to be punched to death must feel shit.
Like, because that's what you think of automatically. It's like, bro, he must feel like the shit has come. Like, surely he's angry.
But yeah, look, it's just made it so much harder to get into other games. I became like a member of like the EA thingy, so I get like all these free games and stuff. I just add them to my library. I never actually play them.
Yeah, I've got so many library games that like, if COVID, they're saying some new strains coming out that's 80% worse than the actual strain we were scared of half a year ago. I've got enough games to keep me occupied for at least a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Easy. Every day if I play a new game.
But the problem is starting them. It's just I can't be bothered
and
starting
plus they're old games too. It's not like they gave them away hectic games for free. You know what I mean? Like, here guys, have a free game. The best one that we've made.
Yeah. I got Bloodborne. I think that's the last game that I tried to play when I was playing on PlayStation. I heard all this amazing stuff about it. But it's too much time invested. Like, I just want to play and get off a couple games.
Coming back to my original point, like, cause are we just getting too old and we don't have enough time to play these games? Think about it, bro. The period from when we left school to about maybe 3 years, there was that, like, maybe not so much you. Like, I took a break. I didn't do nothing. I was just working, saving up money, and going out every day. And it's not like I was going out doing hectic things. I was going out and being a bum at the shops, you know what I mean? Or just walking around having, dinners with a mate of mine or something, or coffees. But, like, the point I'm trying to make is, bro, those were the period where we were playing games. And the games were the most wow to us because we had our own financial freedom. We bought our own things. I had a gaming laptop. I was playing on games on there. And coming back to that point, I was easily entertained because I didn't experience life as I've experienced it now. Mm-hmm. So the point I'm trying to make is, do you think we're just not as entertained anymore, or we're just bored, and the games aren't as hectic as they used to be?
Yeah, look, I can say that across the board for all entertainment. When I go to watch movies, I find myself watching the older movies. Even music. I know you don't mind the new stuff. I absolutely hate new music. And
what are we talking about? Like, what kind of new stuff?
Crap. The new crap. So, like, my dad, when I was growing up, he used to, like, listen to me listening to my music, right? And be like, oh, man, this is so rubbish. How do you listen to it? I sort of feel like that because I work with 17, 18-year-olds. Bro, this is their thing, right? This song comes on, it's rap. I listen to a lot of lyrics. So I'll be listening to lyrics and I'm like, bro, this is so dumb. Like, he's rapping about nothing. It's like...
And they're still getting that exposure. Like, good on them, bro.
But cuz you're catering to a generation of idiots.
Beautiful, cuz. Power to him, you know what I mean? Like, cuz, I feel... Like, cuz, I support that because, you know what? They've taken a simple idea and all these sheeps, like I mentioned before, are going around and downloading or listening to those songs and giving them I don't know, the views that they need to be famous or to earn money. You know what I mean? Good on them, bro. Straight out. If they're going to write down stupid lyrics like, hey, I went out on Friday night and I got drunk, came home, put it up, boom, stupid hook, that's it, bang. It's a freaking a million view song on YouTube, you know what I mean? Something stupid like that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, well, but Generation Z is so... Bro, sorry, guys, but you have really rubbish music. When I speak to them, I'll be like, bro, this song is so dumb. You know what he's rapping about? And he's like, nah, sounds good. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Drugs.
It sounds good. No, bro, he'll rhyme Swiss cheese with the bee's knees. And it's like, bro, there's no thing here. And he'll be like, yeah, but bro, he's a gangster.
Cause straight out, that's what I mean.
He's a gangster.
That's what most of rappers are. If you think about rappers, cause what do they talk about? They used to be in the trap. They tried to sell drugs. You know, it didn't work out, so they moved on to rapping.
Yeah, but at the same time, what's the word? Your criteria for a good rapper can't be that he's gangster. It's like, this guy's gangster, okay? He killed 3 people. So he's a murderer. He's not a rapper. He doesn't know how to rap, bro. It's fucking garbage. Like, look,
because it's not the rap in a sense. It's more the production of the song and the way they make it, and they make it catchy with the hooks they put in or whatever the beat or whatnot may be for that song.
Yeah.
So like, bro, I'm a fool for that, bro. Like, I'm an easy catch. It's just like, give me a decent catch or a hook in the song, and it's like, bang, it's got me. It's got me until I get sick of the song.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens with crappy songs on the radio, bro. We listen to the radio at work. It's the same 3 songs all day, and it goes for TikTok as well, right?
Yeah.
Songs I don't necessarily like. If I watch it 50 times on one day,
I start to like.
I start liking the song. So, look, coming back to the whole thing. You might call me old-fashioned, but I enjoy the older movies more. I enjoy the older music more.
I think he grew up with that, cuz we have the nostalgia of those movies.
There's the nostalgia as well, but bro, the whole storytelling of movies and stuff like that was just done better back then.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
because they didn't have the special effects to hide behind. That's right. The problem.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? They had the proper act.
Bro, John Wick, great movie. Great acting. Story is pretty freaking mediocre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the action, the whole, you know, it doesn't stop from start to go, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, bro.
But I'm someone who likes to be captivated in the whole story of it and stuff like that. And when I look back at the last 2-3 years, there's not many movies that do that to me.
I agree, but then again, cuz I don't have much time to watch movies. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to get before. Like, are we just getting too old to have enough time to? Like, that's what I come back to, like the experience thing. Like, half of the movies I used to watch, and I used to experience life lessons or journeys that people went on in the movie, and I tried to apply that in my everyday life. Now you're probably thinking, all right, you know, you're using Hollywood to, you know, learn mistakes that people make in life. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, that's what I was exposed to.
No, if you look at movies, all they are is just fairy tales that have become more advanced, right? And like those stories were made with a lesson to learn.
Well, yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah, but in coming back to your whole thing about movies is something that I've made more time for after I got married. You know why? Bro, my wife, please forgive me. It's the easiest way to spend time with your missus. Straight out, you put on a movie, you don't have to talk to her. You don't have to... There's no hip thrusting. You know, like, it's easy entertainment, and like, lucky for me, my wife has a very similar taste of movies to I do. Like, we'll watch a movie, and you know when you watch those movies half an hour and you're like, this is fucking shit, like, turn it off. She gets
like
that feeling as when I do. Yeah. And when we watch a good movie, how good is it when you watch a movie and then 2 days later you're still talking about it? Like, you liked it with your wife, like, how did this happen, or blah, blah. We watched Marley and Me, bro. We cried like little girls. I should have mentioned that movie last week, but we talked about it for a week, and then we'd see my dog do a certain thing and be like, oh, it's just like Marley doing it, you know, like. But yeah, movies is something I've made more time for. Unfortunately, gaming isn't. Like you said, I just don't have the time to pump 80 hours into a game anymore.
No, I just want to go in, kill people, and get out. That's it.
Pretty much.
That's why Apex is the best at the moment. All the Battle Royale games.
Well, the Apex season is almost drawing to an end. Is there anything that you'd like to be changed in Apex?
No. Because I'm not a professional player in the sense that I'm, you know, every little thing bothers me. Because I go on there, have fun. And fun, I mean, I like killing a few people. It's very satisfying when you get that kill. Like, when you drop them, you know that, and then they fall. So satisfying.
Yeah.
So satisfying to me. Like, it's like you just want more. Like, you're addicted almost, in a sense. Where it's like, I want to do more of that to people. Whether that's some kind of mental tendency of me wanting to actually kill people and me, you know, getting it out of my system via games. I don't know. You know,
Let's not go that deep.
I don't know, but maybe there's some kind of psychological thing there. You know what I mean? Because
No,
like, why would it be me playing a game that I need necessarily to shoot? Or is it necessarily just the competition of, you know, I don't know.
I would argue it because you get the same thrill when you score a goal in FIFA.
That's true.
I think that sound of the guy dropping in Apex, it's more of a psychological like thing for you to say, I've won. You know, like you won that battle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I enjoyed the train a lot over Christmas because I could just pop off 20, 30 people and like have fun. Like you're killing 10 people like a couple of minutes, you know?
Yeah, I know.
That's why it was fun.
Yeah.
But coming back to the changes, as if it's not boring when you're playing in Fati's lobbies.
Like, it's so hard.
Yeah, like sometimes I just want to jump in, and Fati feels this too. Like he plays a few good games. He's a lot better player than I am. I'll admit that straight off the bat.
He would have to be the best.
He gets a couple of good games off, and then we'll suddenly be in these lobbies with these guys who have 30,000 kills, who pump 12 hours into the game every day.
Because I'm proud of my little 200 kills that I've just managed to get because I've been pumping it this last week. And then you, like, it's a bit disheartening when you see a guy's done 30,000 kills and you're just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, surely this guy must have been playing every day since the game was on. 30,000 kills.
Yeah. And that's just on one of his characters.
Yeah,
you don't even know what's on the other ones.
Exactly.
But as Fati would say, bro, it's not that hard. If you played like 12 hours every day, you'd get like 100 kills every day.
If you watch YouTube, if you watch ACU. Shout out to Fati.
But yeah, like things I'd like to see change in Apex. I definitely want, and I put this up on the Apex Facebook group as well. I want to see my Battle Pass challenges while I'm playing the game because often I forget. I want to know when I've actually completed the challenge. Bro, I had this one challenge where I had to smoke 8 people with Bangalore's grenades. I already finished it and I was doing it for like 3 more games after. I want to know when I've finished it. I want the whole skill-based matchmaking to slow down a little bit.
I think, you mentioned something, because, I don't know, but like when you got Farty, who's a decent player, like, I don't know how that works. Obviously, you're going to have problems there when it's trying to match. Like, you know, one massive guy up here, and then you got the other guy here, which is you, and then you got me, who's a casual player. He plays here and there. You know
That's true,
like,
but
how do you balance that out?
Also, at the same time, when you're a pre-made 3-person squad, you get chucked into the hard lobbies too. So when Fati and I play just 2 of us, because it knows there's one random with us, we don't sort of get the hard things. And then you jump in, who you're a lot less experienced than we are, and it becomes automatically unfair because you're going up against 3 guys. Pre-made squads, they're obviously communicating. They've all got 30,000 damage, and we've got Fati who's on, you know, like he's decent, me who's mediocre, and then you who's less experienced. It's an unfair game. The other thing I want, you got to take more clothes off Loba. I want her in like TikTok girl attire, and we need a ball gag for Rampart because her freaking voice is annoying. So shut her up. But yeah, besides that, just bring on a couple more events. I think there's a Pathfinder event coming up where you're in a boxing ring or something like that. Apex, sponsor us. We're big fans. So, sponsor us.
I actually wanted to go into the government and how obviously they were prepared. They came out and spoke. I think the chief of the office, so someone higher up, obviously a big representative of the police force, came out and discussed what exactly happened on New Year's Eve and how he actually named a few areas in regards to how unsafe or how stupid or how silly they were getting.
So what happened
in terms of the celebration? Cause, one thing I can tell you, there was a kid in your a street in Granville. And I don't know what street it's called, but it's close to your street. And some kid got stuck in a sewage, or not sewage, the rainwater, the fucking runoff tunnels. So on in the street, you know how they have the steel fucking doors or whatever you want to call it, the fucking
the gate things.
Yeah, the gate things. Yeah, so some kid managed to get himself stuck in there, and the whole street got cut off. Like cut off completely, because I was going through my in-laws' house on New Year's Eve, and I went through because there's fire trucks, there was ambulances, police cut off the road. Then you had those special ambulances and the special cars and everything, and I was like, what happened? And of course, all the Snapchat Auburn 2144s and Lebo memes, all those big sites, bro, they all came out and said some kid was stuck in the rainwater, the sewage area or whatever, the runoff or whatever you're going to call it. The gutter where you got the big
I understand. But, like, how did the kid get in there in the first place?
I don't know, because that's all I know, but that's all I found out. And I was like, okay, explains. Imagine New Year's Eve, you're like, all right, we've got to be careful out here, guys. And then you get a call saying some kid's stuck in the fucking gutter.
Wow.
But, going back onto the police, like, bro, I saw a few videos, man. Like, police are ready. If we get out of hand, and, like, I don't want to be talking, like, I'm trying to incite like drama, or I'm trying to incite the public because the government or the police is going about this wrong completely, bro. They pretty much came out like pretty much a riot squad where they tried to contain this thing, and you just saw you saw all the bunch of the wogs or the people in the area with the Adidas, the key trackies and the white shoes, the Nike TNs and whatnot, just running around. So like the coppers would arrive, man. They'd arrive, and then the riot squad would get in. They'd form their little line, like almost like a
Which suburb did this happen in?
Guildford.
Okay.
Guildford, Villawood, Auburn. Like it even got shout outs for the certain streets that actually gave us the show.
Union Road?
Union Road, Chisholm Road. There was a few others. Just around that main area, that box area of Auburn, near Mona Park. But it just went into I think they might have copped a bit of flack from the government in the sense that they were obviously entertaining, and they must have gotten questions saying where's all these videos, or who's sending all these things. We need to go identify these individuals.
But I just think look, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist here, or dude, that's almost like racial targeting.
Yeah.
If you're targeting the people of that area, there was fireworks going off everywhere in Sydney.
Everywhere, bro.
So
everywhere.
Why have you specifically gone to
Guildford?
Villawood
was so organised that the public actually got together and said there's going to be a free show come down, and they from what I've seen on video, bro, they pumped it out. They gave gave the whole Villawood community a hectic show.
Well, there's the answer on why the cops came down.
A point that was given was, they came out, they did it safely. Besides the rubbish that was left, he goes, we would have picked up the rubbish if we weren't chased by the police. You know what I mean? But it was like, how you see in news reports where they're like, oh, there's been a second day of rioting in whatever so-called country. I mean, we can relate to Japan. Was it Japan, Hong Kong, America with the whole Black Lives Matter? You saw it was chaos. Mm-hmm. You had the whole police with the whole, shields walking around like soldiers in a line, structured. Mm-hmm. And it just goes to show, look, how much is in the police? How many people are in the police? Like, say there's an incident, pops out, that's it. The whole community's pissed off, and then other communities come together and they go, you know what, we need the whole police force we need in this one area at the moment because things are running around. We can't contain the situation.
I wouldn't be able to tell you, but
let's throw out numbers. 50,000 people?
Yeah. But look,
50,000 individuals.
They're going to be outnumbered. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't we as a community get together and go no, you're not going to push us around. You're not going to fucking force us to wear masks and make us pay fines. You know what I mean? Let's just not walk around with licenses then. How are they going to identify us? You know what I mean?
What you're asking for is anarchy.
Yeah. No, not necessarily.
but
you know what? We need to remember that police are... Don't get me wrong. We call police when something's wrong.
Okay, just
yes
to
or
let
no?
you know. Just to let you know, New South Wales Police has 16,649.
Holy
so not
shit,
even
they wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Because if we all decided to go, that's it, we're going to go on a march, Million Man March, let's go. Into the city. What the fuck are the police going to do?
I want to ask, why are we doing this? For fireworks?
No, but I mean, going back to the original question of, what do you call it, of wearing the masks. Like, eventually, bro, if we're giving away our rights so easy now, bro, 10 years from now, imagine what it's going to get like. Imagine what it's going to get like. They're already thinking about getting rid of currency, physical cash, okay? Which is just going to make it easier to track down people and, do whatever. Even though, obviously, I'm implying that there's a lot of implying that people that use cash, what do you call it?
There are two kinds of people who use cash. One, people who deal with drugs. Two, kebab shops.
Or people that don't want to pay tax free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kebab shops.
But coming back to my point, like that's just an example. I'm not saying that's the only point that the government's going to take on us. But I don't know. I just feel that 10 years from us, this is going to be a completely different world.
Yeah, look.
I mean, now that technology is coming into effect as well, bro, it's like, you know, with Facebook and everything else, it's just making it easier for the government to govern us, if that makes sense. Because, bro, now we take a video. Say I take a video, I have a barbecue with my family, invite people. I've got 10 people over. They say there's a limit of 5 people in every residence to avoid, you know, transmitting the COVID disease around, right? What's going to happen then? They're just going to go, you know, bang on the thing, Facebook. Yeah, I was having a party. How many people can we count? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 people. That's it, mate. We're going to send them out a thing. You know, nephew, yep, he lives on this street. Yep, send them out a $1,000 fucking fine.
Yeah, look, if it comes down to that, at the moment, I don't know how much information law enforcement and the government can pull off Facebook.
But I understand.
Like, bro,
there were choppers flying around. I'm sure they were using infrared technology in identifying where the hotspots were in terms of people gathered with more than 5 people at a time.
Well, they obviously didn't fly over my house.
Bro, they were not fly over, bro. They were sitting under my in-laws' house. Well, my in-laws live in Auburn. So, you know, just to give you an example. Bro, it was like, it pissed me off because I had to hear the helicopter go, and it was just spotting lights around. So it's like, it was obvious that government money was being spent on a helicopter, paying the pilot and some other idiot who uses the technology to search the
Yeah, look, you've opened up a whole new can.
Right, like, surely I'm right here. Like, you know, surely people can agree with me on this.
Yeah, but look, if he busts one guy having 5 people in his house, he's paid off for the helicopter. And the trip
exactly my point. But so when does it become actually trying to look after society or just trying to raise money for government to earn more money?
Look, bro, I think, especially in Australia, revenue raising is a big thing. Bro, did you know that you can invest in speed cameras? You can buy shares in speed cameras.
Oh my God, don't tell me this.
I don't know how true it is.
Dude.
I don't know how true it is, but it was a conversation that we had in the household over New Year's. I was shocked by it. I was like, what do you mean?
I will look this up.
Look it up right now. But apparently you can buy shares in individual speed cameras. Have you got... Oh, you don't have your phone on you.
No, I don't have my phone
I'll look it up in a second. I don't know how true this is, but this is a conversation that went around. Bro, you know what it comes down to? And let me think this, right? I'm all for traffic offences. If someone's breaking the law and it's stopping my
I lost my
safety.
licenses due to minor infringements.
But
minor
that's what I'm
going to
get to. That's what I'm going to get to. Look, if a guy is speeding 40 kilometers over the speed limit and he's
story.
endangering me, my wife, my kids,
that's
your
correct.
kids, you know, hit him with it. But this is where you start to question it, all right? I got a red light camera fine. I didn't cross. I was very tired, okay? And I probably shouldn't have been driving. But the set of lights that I was at was very close to another set of lights, right? So the second set of lights, it turned green. And these ones turned green like 10 seconds after. I moved forward. I did not cross the intersection, right? My front tire hit and I realized it was red and I stopped. But it already flashed me. But I got a $450 fine.
Cuz, did you pay it?
I did. Because
surely you could have contested it with the photo.
I did contest it.
They don't take it. They don't care.
No, they don't. Because what was said was, oh, you crossed the line. It was 2 minutes after that light turned red, so there's no reason why you should be crossing the line. And I was like, in the letter that I wrote, I was like, the light in front was very close, and it deceived me when it turned green, you know? That's why I went forward, and I didn't cross the intersection. I didn't endanger anyone's life. If you look at the photo, the first flash and the second flash, my car has moved like 10 centimeters.
Yeah.
You know?
And they don't give a fuck.
But but... why do you need to give me $450?
Like catch me. Like if someone says I'm the guy who I communicate with the people that want to contest their fines. If I find out someone I know is like that, it would be hard to hold myself from punching them in the face because they never care. All the fines I've contested. Always wrote out a fucking like a 300, 400 word letter discussing why, you know, certain issues. And man, like you may think I'm this guy who, because you know me as a driver to be, I don't know, quick. Would that be?
You stick to the speed limit fast.
Yeah, but I don't know. Anyways, let's just say I'm very, very quick in terms of how I drive. The point I'm trying to get at is the minor infringements that I mentioned is exactly stuff like that. You know, by mistake, because I use roads so often that, dude, eventually you're going to have to make a mistake, whether it be like big or thing. But, bro, think about it. I've never crashed into a car. I've never T-boned anyone because I've always taken the necessary precaution. Anyways, besides that, I'm going to get off my own dick and explain the fact that I lost my license twice. Okay, and for all the instances that I think I got caught speeding, for all of them were under 10. So if I was to show anyone and show them my driving record, all my things were all stupid, like 5 or 6 over the thing. Are you going to tell me police couldn't take into effect? Mind you, they were all in commercial vehicles. They were only my 1 or 2 may have been in a private vehicle, or commercial vehicles. I mean, like, surely you couldn't give a guy a break. Like, when do you consider that it's revenue raising and it's just my job, as they fucking say it is? But, they can't look at him, because if they weren't handing out these fines left, right, and centre, who the fuck would be paying for all the fucking technology they put into these highway patrol cars?
Yeah, look, and you said the right thing when you said it's a mistake. When I crossed that red light camera, it was an honest mistake.
Yeah,
I would never cross.
And now you got to pay $500 and 2 points.
I drive in the morning at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, there's no one on the road, and if I wanted, I could run every red light on the way to work, and no one would see me. There's no one on the road at that time. It was an honest mistake, but I think that the penalty for it is so $300. I think I paid $370 or something like that. Dude, that's not like a slap on the wrist. That's you're getting caned by your dad at that point, right? Like, that is a massive fine. If I had crossed, I think that the person who's giving out these fines should look and be like, yeah, he crossed. Hit him with a hefty fine.
Because imagine how many they're copping. Probably copping 5,000 emails from people every day going, I didn't do this, and you just over it. By the 50th fine of the day, you're just like, fuck off, can't just pay your fine and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I understand. But then they have enough money and resources to put individual people on mobile phone cameras to catch people.
Yeah.
You're paying a guy a salary to sit at a mobile phone camera.
I've always wanted to discuss the whole safety aspect of these fucking cameras. Like, especially ones that are going down hills, and then you get those dickheads that are too preoccupied with watching out for the camera that they slow down. Like, I'm talking about little vehicles, so like little hatchbacks and whatnot, that are going down this hill, and naturally you're gonna roll. All right, if we all drive, we understand that little roll that you need to apply the brakes because you're going down the hill and you need to stick to the limit. But bro, when you're going down a hill, a massive hill too, by the way, and for instance, we'll take for example you drive a Land Cruiser, cars. What are they? 2.5 tons.
Over with all the accessories on it, yeah.
Exactly. 2.5 tons. Good luck trying to speed that down. Like, you're already going from an 80 road and it turns into 60, some roads, just from example. Imagine trying to apply the brakes that when one little hatchback doesn't need the necessary force to stop, and it's right in front of you, so it just slams the brake because it's like, oh, the fucking camera's there, even though it's doing the speed limit.
Yeah.
Look at the safety fucking thing it presents there. You know what I mean?
That's when it's revenue raising, when it's at a downhill like that and you're trying to catch people off guard. Like,
no, you're going to catch people fucking speeding. Like,
bro, and here's the safety thing, right? It goes, whenever they advertise speed cameras, like speed cameras for your safety, bro, I see people speed. He does 110 in a 50 zone. He sees the camera. He slows down for 200 meters. Then he goes again.
Yeah.
You're not stopping anything. I understand it's supposed to be a mental reminder. Dude, I'm not saying don't use them. In the area we live in, you want to talk about like targeting? Bro, I can name about 40 speed cameras in our area. Just on Woodville Road alone, there's 3 or 4 of them. You want to talk about targeting? Bro, how come there's not so many in other suburbs? Like, I understand we have the rowdiest drivers in our area, the dumbest drivers.
The best drivers, the most entertaining drivers.
Bro, on Woodville Road, you can literally stand at a speed camera and see the next one.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I don't know, bro. Like, it's hard not to be a conspiracy theorist or one of those hobos that, go into like, oh, government's trying to do this, the government's trying to do that. Of course, when the government, every politician's getting a $90,000 salary every year for doing what? Not even presenting the ideas that the community wants. You know what I mean? If we really want to go into the hierarchy of the government system and what these LPs or fucking MPs do, what do they naturally do? Nothing. They've been caught out doing fucking drugs and sex and whatnot. I mean, you've heard about all that stuff, haven't you?
Sorry, I was just looking to see if you could actually buy shares in the thing. I'm just reading up this thing at the moment.
Because I wouldn't be surprised. They're expensive technology.
Bro, apparently you can.
I would not be surprised.
Apparently police officers are investing in those shares and they're getting in trouble for it. So...
Oh, wow. What do they call that? It's like
inside
trading.
It's
yeah,
conflict
almost.
of interest. I completely agree with you.
So much that inquiry did in the 90s. Fucking corrupt pricks.
But yeah, too many of them. When you're putting that many of them on one street, then you're not. What are you gonna do? You're gonna put a camera on every light now so that no one's speeding. Like, it becomes questionable whether it's done for.
Highway patrol cars, they're driving around BMWs now.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? That
That's
car's
because-
probably $80,000-$90,000
That's
alone.
because Holden and Ford aren't making
But cars like
anymore.
was BMW the cheapest, was it? You know what I mean?
But
Like,
what do you put them in so that they can keep up with other cars?
cars, I don't care, bro. You want to fucking stop revenue raising and then making us spend the fucking money on the fucking BMWs that are running? Like, bro, surely they're like 80,000-90,000 minimum.
Yeah,
Those cars.
But at the
And
same
then on
time,
top of that, it's not even the bullshit labor that's got to go in to fit these vehicles with all the bullshit that they need. Like the fucking, the camera that records the plates, the speed camera. I actually sped past the, I was doing 60 in a 50 zone. Cause 50 is already fucking slow. And like to get fined in a 60 zone, like that's ridiculous, bro. Like I know the whole 10 kilometers makes a difference in stopping, seeing someone. But bro, I'm an analyzer of the road. I search up at least minimum 100 meters. So I have a slight idea as to what's happening. So if I do see a hazard approaching, I apply the brakes. I fucking slow down. You know what I mean? It's common sense.
yeah.
Whereas these guys just going, punching, like smashing their brakes. And then you wonder why half these cars that are being sold have the shittest brakes in the world, you know?
Yeah, but coming back to your thing about the BMWs, the cars they drove previously weren't cheap. Your Holdens and your Fords,
True.
they're not really cheap
they were
cars
like
either.
50, 60 at least.
You know what I mean? Like they
But
weren't cheap cars.
Those Beamers, they didn't get them on a cross price for 50, 60,000, surely.
I would say that they
And
probably
like, cause
got
they don't
some
even
sort
hold them that long. They hold them like 100 Ks or 150,000 Ks.
it was the same with the Commodores and the Falcons. That's why you could buy the X Chasers and stuff like that. But that I think that was a massive loss to the Australian government and the whole taxpayers.
Yeah.
Is that Ford and Holden stopped manufacturing cars. They're either driving Hyundais now as their normal
Or
cars,
Lancers.
or they've got BMWs as their highway patrol. But your question, your cars. Take the BMW out of it. What do you give them that can keep up with most cars as a highway patrol car? Because the whole HSVs and stuff like that used to be quick. What do you give them?
Nothing.
Because
you keep them to the same cars that everyone's got. There's no need for highway patrols.
here's your I-30. When someone's driving down with a Lamborghini, you need to keep up with it.
They've had those, I don't know, show cars where they just get it presented up, put the police stickers on stop, and it's just like every festival they went to, they had it there, and it's like, oh wow, look, they've got a fucking like an AMG police highway patrol car.
Yeah, and it was fucking sponsored by Crisco. Dude, you're supposed to be helping people in Christmas, not buying police cars. But yeah, I remember, I think it was Bankstown Police Station had like some Crisco.
Because they had like an F-150 or something, or F-250. Massive police car, like, those utes?
No, this wasn't a U. This was back in the days, the Bankstown Police Station. They had some, it was black, and it was sponsored by Crisco. And everyone used to talk about it. Oh, have you seen that? They've got this, When you think about what cars you can give them these days, all the Japanese cars have stopped making semi-sports cars, and everything's become like exotic now.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And you're going to give them Civics, like Type R Civics? I don't think...
I don't know. Like, I'm sure a certain agreement was handed between them and BMW,
Of course,
and that's why they
definitely.
chose them.
That's right.
Surely, like, they didn't just go, yep, 90,000, no worries, we'll take 500 of these, you know what I mean? We'll spread them out into the country.
That's right. And going back on, not being able to make everyone happy, I remember being kids and we were like, bro, why do cops drive Holdens and Fords? In Germany, they drive BMWs. Why?
Yeah.
And then we get them, and then we're like, why are they driving BMWs?
No, I don't mean why they drive. Like, why? From the financial perspective, why are they spending my hard-earned tax money that I get taxed on and buying the fucking cars that police are using? This should be work. They shouldn't be in fucking these luxury cars, enjoying themselves, fucking finding people. They'd probably get a kick out of it, bro. Probably wakes up in the morning going, fucking beautiful, I'm going to go into work, go see everyone, and then I get to fucking drive a BMW. Like, how fucking hectic is my job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
New South Wales government, stop doing fireworks at the Harbour Bridge and using our taxpayers' money. We get better entertainment in the area. So
I can't believe they still went ahead with that. Even though the city got locked down and there was no one there, and they actually reported that they never seen the city so dead on New Year's Eve, and they still went ahead with the fucking fireworks. Why? So we can watch fireworks on TV. I could have went on YouTube and go, give me 2 hours of fireworks.
That's right, but who was it, Channel 7 or Channel 9, whoever was showing it, paid big bucks to be able to get those, bro, so they couldn't take that off them.
And no one fucking watched them.
Yeah, they did, because people were posting videos from their TV on Instagram. How lame is that? Hey, we're watching the fireworks on TV.
Like, I've never been a guy to be like, take New Year's Eve. Like, New Year's Eve was being like, yeah, there's going to be fireworks, and it's just an excuse for us to stay up till 12. You know,
as kids, yeah.
as kids, and even now, like, bro, I don't say anything special. Like, to be honest, it's a nuisance to me when we come into the holiday season because I don't celebrate any of the holidays, obviously. And it just becomes a hindrance because now everywhere's closed. I can't go out. I can't do nothing because these you know, the fellow people out there want to celebrate another day that's going to a year. You know what I mean? Whether you want to call it pettiness or shallow or whatever, I don't care.
You just have different values.
Yeah. No.
Talking about values, but I'm so glad that you've picked up your first pair of TNs.
Yeah. TN3s. Oh, we're going down the train, aren't we?
We are going down this train because you mentioned that when we we're talking about the boys from the area.
Yeah, I got excited. I'm a big ASICS brand ambassador. Not wearing any now at the moment, but I try not to wear too much because I don't want to be known as the guy that's ASICS, even though I am.
But he's recently jumped on the TN train, which I've been on for a little bit
My
of time.
first pair of Nike shoes in years. I'm talking more than.
Have you worn them yet?
I tried them on and they look sexy. Oh my
Are they
God.
comfortable?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're comfortable.
See, I grew up in the area, hated TNs, because unlike where I work right now,
like,
I work in Penrith, and TNs equal lads.
Yeah.
For us, it was never lads. It was more wogs and like drug dealers, and you know. So I was never a huge fan of TNs, and then I had to buy a pair of shoes. And by that stage, you were into this whole, you know, the whole...
No, because of the pandemic, not pandemic, but because of the lockdown. Remember when we went on a strict lockdown where everywhere was closed?
Yeah.
When the first COVID came in? That's when I started looking. I'm going, I don't know why, but I actually made $1,000 from selling my old shoes.
Yeah.
Like, that's the value they had upon it. It was like, bro, if someone's going to pay for shoes that have holes in it and the rubber on the tread on the bottom is completely gone, worn out, these shoes were used completely. And some guy paid me $200 for them.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
There's a massive thing. I think we were on the way here when we were doing the other podcast, and Umar, who used to be on Offside Talk with us, he told me that he sold these old pair of TNs he had. He goes, bro, they were so bad, I wouldn't wear them. Mind you, Umar has a lot of shoes, and he keeps them in pristine condition. If he's saying they're bad, they must have been pretty bad. And he's like, I got good money for them. That's when it sort of clicked for me, and then you started to say that you buy them. I had to buy shoes. I went to Foot Locker. I saw TNs and I was like, I'm not looking at them with the same view as I had when I was a kid.
Nice shoes.
I was like, I really like them.
Yeah, they are nice.
And
because there's just a stigma, like you mentioned before, the drug dealers all wore them.
It's worldwide.
And junkies, yeah, worldwide. There's actually a story
that.
behind how the TNs were first started out. I watched it and I forgot what it was about, but it was
the palm trees,
the orange ones. Yeah.
So they were originally made by an artist who just started working for Nike. He was fascinated by, I think, the palm trees in California.
Yeah. Somewhere,
and then
Venice Beach.
Yeah, that's where they got that whole thing from. And the original colors were actually the sunset that he saw.
Yeah,
so there was like a purple or orange.
And it's an iconic shoe.
That's right. But worldwide, whether you're in the UK, you're in America, you're in Australia, they just have a drug dealer, bad boy.
Yeah, they've always had that
it.
stigma around it, man.
And look, I'm no longer trying to be that person. I'm 31 years old.
Right, I know that's what's so like disheartening or embarrassing is that I'm a 30-year-old father of two and I'm still walking around like this teenager wearing these sneakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that worked in the opposite way for me because as a kid, I didn't want to wear them because I was like, oh, all the bad kids wear them or all these people wear them. Whereas when I went into Foot Locker and I looked at them, I was like, I don't want to be those people anymore. I just like how those shoes look. And once I bought my first pair, I was like, I want to get more. And I jumped onto like TN Facebook pages and blah, blah. And I like the community is awesome, bro. Like one guy will post up and be like, is this real? And everyone will comment on it.
Cause I nearly bought fake pairs before I bought my real one.
Of TNs?
Yeah, but luckily I double checked. If I can give any advice with people buying online is double check that everything is right because there's a lot of dodgy cunts selling fake shoes as the real thing and charging the actual real price. Like, cause buying the whole shoe thing was always an investment thing. Like behind it, obviously behind the whole materialism of wanting the shoe and wearing it and blah, blah, blah. But I always bought it with like out of the 100% of why I bought it, 10% was I can make money from this in the future. Once everyone's worn them out and they're completely gone and they're rare now and they're limited stock, obviously buying 101 or what's the, the whole, what buying value, the fucking...
Resale value?
No, the supply and
demand.
Demand whole kicks in.
Yep.
Low supply, so the higher demand. equals more thing value. You know what
definitely.
I mean?
That's originally why I bought the worldwide TNs I have. But they're just too pretty not to wear. And I was like, look, I'm going to wear them.
Cause that's another fucking bullshit thing I got to go through. Is like, I put them on and it's like, I can see my kids. My kids jump on my feet. And wearing white shoes, mate, good luck.
Yeah, I battled myself for how many weeks. And I was like, bro, I bought these. I'm one of like, I don't know how many people, 1,000 in Australia who actually got to get them. Yeah. I'm going to wear them. But the way I tread, bro, is like, oh, there's a pedal there, move away.
You just can't enjoy yourself. If you go to a picnic, bro, you're going to be like, 50% of the day is going to be worrying about, like, oh, is my shoes all right? Oh, fuck, I dropped something on my shoe. I dropped an onion from the barbecue or something, you know what I mean? Or grease on my shoe and it's not going to be able to get off. And then you're just spewing for the whole day.
I played golf in my worldwides and I fucking regret it.
Yeah. I got dirty shoes and then I got the shoes that I go out, like, till maybe the shops with the missus or if I go out with the missus. No picnics, no. I take my freaking Thrashies.
See, I was going to buy Thrashies because... Yeah. Obviously, I bought my first TNs because I had no more shoes left, right? So they're all really good mint condition. I went to buy Thrashies. Dude, I can buy brand new shoes instead of Thrashy TNs. They still hold their value at like $80, $100.
Like, good luck finding, especially old TNs when in the 90s when they were like proper, like they had that, you know, you were cool if you had one. If I can explain it in that sense, it's like... my mum would never pay $260 to buy TNs, especially for a kid that was going to grow out of them in like 2-3 months anyways. No. But it was just always, if I can go back on my own, and I explain this to my wife all the time, because she always asks me, why are you buying shoes? Like, you're a 30-year-old man, you know, like, what are you, some kid? And obviously, I always tell her, like, I always wanted to buy those TNs, because all the Lebo kids were always wearing it. Like, this was the truth. All the Lebo kids in primary school. So you can imagine, these weren't even, like... full men's shoe. These were like kids' shoes valued at $260 for a kid that was going to not care about their shoes at all. We were just going to run it in the mud and just thrash them full of holes and everything. And these guys had new shoes at least every month, bro. It was so... I don't know. It was disheartening. It was just like, it just killed them because it was like, bro, if I had one pair, I would treasure these for the rest of my life. And these guys are going through them every month.
Yeah,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
Look, I'll be honest. All my shoes when I was growing up, we got them from Payless.
Yeah,
right?
same. Cuz Kmart.
I didn't own a pair of TNs.
Not that was a problem
or
either.
Nikes. I didn't own Nikes until I started working myself.
No, I was fortunate enough. My mother took me like 3-4 times where she was like, pick something out that was reasonably priced. And it was never the stuff that I wanted, but it was like, oh, this is cool enough.
It's the cheap end of the Nike, and you're like, they're all white and black, no other colors. Which is another thing for shoe collectors, right? It's so funny and interesting.
Colors.
The colors. Yeah. Someone will post it on Facebook, and everyone likes that color, right? Yeah. But how does it work? Why do we find those certain colors attractive? They're obviously the ones that become more expensive. What colors do you look for?
Colours, well, I used to be a dark colour wearing shoe guy. Now, bro, I try to get as white as possible, bro. Whites are the worst shoes to wear too, by the way. I mean, it's just so easy to get dirty because it's like you go to the shops, you come back with at least one black dust stain or like a dust stain or like a spot or like someone's dropped something or your kids. Like I mentioned, my kids just kept jumping on my shoe. And the reason why I keep saying this is because I wore nice shoes and then I just kept feeling him jumping on my feet. And it was just like, bro, like... I wanted to crack him and just like, stop jumping on my feet. But, you know, he doesn't know. You can't, like, I'm not going to scream at a kid because, like, I felt like that. Don't get me wrong. I was like, stop jumping on my feet. But he didn't understand. Like, you know, I was going to scream at him. I could have explained it to him, of course, but I mean, let him have fun. Am I going to put my kids' happiness before the shoes that I bought? You know what I mean? Like, I'd consider myself very shallow.
Look, we got home one day and I've got a bit of a dodgy lock. So my wife's keys work fine on the door. My one, sometimes it doesn't work. So I was at this deadlock trying to turn it. It didn't work, right? Mind you, I'm wearing fresh white TNs, right? And I looked at my missus and she's pregnant, by the way. And I was like, can you go in the backyard and like go through the back door? Because my keys work on that 100%. And she's like pregnant. My dog weighs like 40 kilos and he's really jumpy. She's like, nah, it wouldn't be safe for me. So I went around the back and my dog jumped all over my shoes.
Yeah, I had dogs too. Because I hated wearing... Because they would just come to love you. It's not... Because you're relating it exactly to like my kids.
Pretty much.
Not to put them in the same...
Kids and dogs are not the same. But like when I walked inside and he just started jumping on me, I swear I grabbed him by his choker.
How frustrating.
I was ready to crack him. And I'm like, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Yeah, I had to stop myself too. It's just like, because it was just numerous times. Like, well, dad, like I want to do this. It's like, bro, stop jumping on me. But you can't help it. He's excited. He's having his little fun. And I can't wreck that.
At the end of the day, they're shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is as well, you went and bought like a whole heap of cleaning stuff for your shoes. I haven't used any of that stuff yet. I'm going to buy some soon.
Yeah.
Have you used them?
Because, look, the videos that you watch online, like if you search up sneaker cleaning or whatever.
Nah, watch your mate Chase.
Yeah, like he does a very hectic job. Like, bro, but my shoes never get that dirty to the degree that I'm like, it makes you think, like, he actually puts it out there and he says, look, people think that, like, I just buy new pairs. That's how clean I get these shoes. But these shoes are covered in, like, dirt. This guy must have just went running in the garden going bang, 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 like, I'm just going to go, step on mud and just get these shoes as dirty as fuck. And I'm like, bro, I would never have my shoes that dirty. Like, I'm talking about, like, few stains here and there. These shoes are completely covered in mud. Yeah. And it's just like, you could have done this yourself at home. Like, I've got a friend who owns a business, shout out to him, Sneaker Laundry in Melbourne. And he does a lot of like before and after videos, and he actually records the whole process of cleaning the video. Mm-hmm. And it is a strenuous process, but it looks like he enjoys it, just like how I enjoy cooking. And the point I'm trying to get at is, bro, it's just it's too. I often find I wreck shoes because I'm just in a hurry to get it out of the way.
Scrub them too hard?
Yeah, scrub them too hard, or the paint on, like, not the paint, but like you scrub the rubber enough to the point where it's like sandpaper almost. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. There's a whole, like, I don't know, market behind sneakers these days. I'm sure majority of people that listen will probably know or have an idea as to what it's involved. But I think I'm hooked, bro. All I look at Facebook is like, 60% of my time on Facebook is looking at shoes that are for sale.
Well, you were waiting for
because I was making money off it. I was buying shoes and I was reselling them, like worn shoes. People were buying stupid monies for, Yeah. So if where there's a market, there's you can do something with it in that terms.
Any advice for reselling? Are you going for popular colors, or were you just like anything you could find?
It just comes down to supply and demand. Like for instance, we'll put in an example for my favorite brand, Asics. We all know it's a Japanese brand. Just found out Asics never actually meant anything, but it was an acronym for like something for the body or for the mind, something like that, which was amazing because I was actually thinking, instead of buying shoes and selling them, why don't I invest in the actual company? You know what I mean? Instead of buying Asics shoes, why don't I buy Asics shares and be a part of the company and own the company? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought it was genius. I actually saw that on TikTok. I mean, everyone thinks TikTok is about fucking girls and then,
It's about girls. It's about girls wearing very little clothes.
Surprisingly, I don't get many of it.
You know why? It goes off the algorithm of what you like.
I'm glad, because you know what? I don't need to see that.
I don't want to be sad about this, right? I came across a video in my For You section. It was about a person. It was a person who had Tourette's.
Yeah.
Right? And
instant funny.
No, it wasn't the funniness. I actually felt bad for her. She was having one of these fits, and apparently these fits go up to like half an hour, and you can see that genuinely she's struggling. She's like, this is 30 seconds of the 30 minutes I went through, right? I liked it because it was like, it wasn't a sympathy like. It was like, you put yourself out there. I think you deserve it. If I come across a video that honestly someone has put in an hour to make that video, I'll give it a like.
Because you mentioned before, I'm a troll, but like you said, if it's something that's actually amazing or something that was something that's genuine.
Yeah.
You get a lot of those fake people that do the pranks and bullshit and like, hey, it's 5 seconds of entertainment and then it's done, and then you see the fakeness of how they try to come about whatever the entertainment they brought out. But I completely agree with what you were saying, the whole genuine idea.
If it's genuine, if it's funny, if it's you doing something hard and coming out about it, then I'm going to give you a thing. So I liked her video. The next day I jumped on, my whole For You was people with Tourette's. So like, it's the same thing with like, if you like one of those, bro, you're seeing it all freaking day.
Because it gets paranoid, not paranoid, but I also often find watching it by myself at home, and it shows the videos, and I'm going like surely my missus knows that like there's the girls dancing in front of me right now. I'm like,
yeah, my missus knows, like you know that You know that one, the Japanese one that just flick their skirts left and right.
No, I don't
Every
know
time
that.
it comes on, my missus knows what's going on. But here's a massive shout out to TikTok, right? You need to add smell. Some of those things I see, I want to smell them. So please add smell to TikTok. Bro, they get so close to the camera and it's just like, Oh, but
sure
yeah,
they
like
won't
it
smell
depends
that
on your
flavor, man.
algorithm. If you're liking funny stuff,
Because
then
you know what it is? It's all investment or it's religious.
yeah, well, that's because
It's those guys, let Google, do your Google course and make up to $90 an hour. It's like instantly, I want to make $90 an hour. And then you find out the rubbish that it is.
yeah. Well, I just keep getting OnlyFans invitations and shit like that.
What is with the whole OnlyFans? I don't get that because I see a lot of the memes around.
OnlyFans? You don't know what it is?
No, what is that? Like
It's like a subscription service for normal people. It's like your girl next door sort of shit, right? It's just amateur people recording stuff. Bro, apparently...
And what are these people paying for money?
Yeah, you pay to see them, but
Oh my God.
I think it depends on how many subscriptions they have. They go to different tiers. So, like, each tier, they're allowed to charge a different
They
amount.
show one nipple, it gets you $50.
Yeah, look, not everyone does full frontal nude stuff. So, like, some people are just doing, like, what do they call it? Like,
Just goes to show
implied
you-
nude and shit like that. Bro, there's a full market out there of, like, people's fetishes. There's cosplay
I
girls.
saw
and-
an article that I think it was one of these porn sites. One of the creators or one of the the maintainers of the site was actually in discussion of we don't know what the next I don't know, not trend, but the next fetish or the next subgroup of porn style is gonna be, because there's so many weird shit coming out that it's like people aren't even watching real porn anymore.
Yeah, it's
They're
everyone.
watching cartoons now.
Yeah,
Like some women with free tits and like
everyone who's into that hentai
yeah,
stuff.
bro.
Yeah,
I'm just like, come on, bro. How fuck? Like, I've seen documentaries on SBS in regards to Japanese people and how their population is actually I think it was the older something out of proportion. Like the older demographic of their population was dying out so fast that the younger generation weren't making enough babies to keep the population going. So in the instance of population increasing, it was rather that the population was in a decline, because they weren't actually getting together with male and females and creating that family thing where they were creating children, because they were more about themselves in a sense.
So you're telling me that billions and billions and billions and babies ended up in Kleenex? Pretty much. Bro,
Yeah.
there's a whole thing about... But, like, you're right. The whole fetish thing has gone out of whack. Like,
Because what happened to normal
I don't,
man and lady
I
stuff?
don't shame it. Dude, if you're into it, you're into it.
No.
But there's just some stuff that's fucked. Like, why would you want to be shitted on? I don't understand how you get off on that.
Yeah, I don't. Cause I think we've spoken about this and how people, have certain traumas. So like for instance, they talk about. I've heard that the the Arabs in like the Emirates and all the oil, like the oil fuck you money that they have, like they run out of ideas to the point where they just go, yeah, I'll pay for this girl so I can shit on her or I can piss on her, to the point where they don't even have sex anymore. It doesn't get them off.
Wow.
Honestly, like this, I think this was a Joe Rogan thing, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of my information comes from Joe Rogan, but I can't remember the instance, but I remember this amazed me, and it made sense because you know how they talk about porn addiction and how it kind of it's stuffing up our current generation Y or Z, whatever you want to call it. Whatever,
Y,
the
yeah.
young generation.
We're not young anymore. The new generation's Z.
I'm not speaking to myself, bro, but like, I can see why porn addiction is a problem.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Bro, the same thing goes for TikTok, because
yeah,
the girls
that
you
too.
come across on TikTok, bro, I didn't know so many attractive women existed. Like,
Guys,
yeah,
that's all fake, but like
I
because
understand, but that's setting a sort of standard for you to become
like
attracted
get
to
up
you.
and dance and show us your ass like right after waking up with no makeup on and see how attractive you'll be that time.
I
You know what
bet
I mean?
there's going to be Kleenex in there. So
You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I can jump on, put makeup and do a few push-ups, get a decent pump and go, hey, hectic, I got a hectic body here. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I can put all the makeup in the world on, and I'm not going to look like any of those chicks on there or the guys. It's just, bro,
I beg to differ.
it's-
I've got a girl's ass. I've been told numerous times by males that you know what? If I was a woman,
But like, it just sets a standard, and you can see where this is going for a lot of people with like self-esteem issues and blah blah blah. Because if you're setting your platform, your standard at girls on TikTok,
Exactly.
bro.
Yep.
I've seen 50-year-old mums on there that look like supermodels.
Now you know what? I'll put you in a thing. I'll probably get jacked for this, but try loving a woman after they've just given birth. And I'm not saying that in a bad sense, bro. Don't get me wrong. My wife gave birth twice, and I loved her even more for even that time. But that's because I love my woman and I'm married to her. That's a difference. But say you go through an experience like that where you just seen this woman, you know, pretty much go through a massive part in life. Like, I don't know, how would you describe that? Try to help me out here. Well, like, what word could I use to describe that? I mean, it's an experience, and it makes you think like, wow, like I never pictured, you know, marrying someone going to a position like this. If that makes sense, you know, this is a personal thought of mine. But I mean, like you mentioned, the whole, like, you know, getting on there, wearing the makeup, and, you know, recording videos in a particular style. You know, not showing me the imperfections, rather just showing me the perfection of that individual. Like, you know, try loving someone with imperfections. You know what I mean? There's a different story. I can see how hard it would be for current males or even females saying, you know what, I want a guy like this, or I want a girl like this. She's got to have it like this, blah, blah, blah. No one's perfect. No. Everyone's going to be...
Everyone has flaws,
you know, exactly. Yeah. And just going on with that whole... you mentioned the
self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Confidence.
Yeah.
You know, you're not at your best when you're wearing this, or if I don't wear this tight top. As males, you know, I'll put the male perspective in there. You know, I've got to make sure my hair's cut a particular way and it's gelled just the right way, so I'm confident in myself to be able to go out into the world and you know, do all the things I got to do. Going back to the porn addiction, I know I kind of trailed down a different, you know, detour of a road.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going back to that point. I mean, yeah, it's very worrying, especially with two boys. I mean, it's going to be a bit of an issue. I mean, I know we both went for our male, our
I was a good boy.
Yeah, we were all good boys.
Straight 180.
But you get the gist of me, you know.
Dude,
what I mean?
I'm having a daughter. You know how scared I am. I've got to buy more guns. I need more guns in my house, and I'm gonna start hitting the gym when she's born.
We're all getting on the testosterone. You know that Rick and Morty episode where him and Summer, they get jacked.
Yeah.
And then they go,
X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon'. I love how
they spit.
I was gonna say. I love when Summer's like.
That's the best. Cause like I can't believe something so simple like that. That just that scene, and it was like the outro of that episode. Brilliant.
You know what I liked about it though is that they go and bash all these bullies from like cartoons. You know they bash that bully from Recess. They go and bash all these bullies that were in like other shows. They go and you know that
was the devil one.
The Nazi guy who's in what's that movie? When he
the American History.
Yes, American History X. They get that guy, the bully from Recess. Like they're just hitting up like all these other bullies. Bro, that is such a great show. There's honestly not a better show.
I've watched it maybe 10 times now. Easy. I've watched all episodes.
And every time you watch it, you're picking up on other stuff. 5.
You know what's the Too Smart Terry Flash? That song is excellent.
Oh yeah, bro.
My wife was like, "What's a terry flap?" I'm like, "I don't know, but it sounds dirty."
There's that other one too where it's like doo-doo bot, and you know the one where Beth comes back from that made up world that Rick made for her. I was just
watching that. Tommy.
And then the song that comes on when they're cloning Tommy, and it's like, I got a boo boo in my butt, and I don't know what to do.
I love that show.
It's a really good show.
I'm done.
Yeah, we're wrapping up now.
Nothing else if you got something else, bro.
So please follow us on the Instagram page that we have. Subscribe to us on YouTube, guys. The support has been great. We've been getting almost 90 to 100 views. Well, it was not on me. So subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, please, and
please.
follow us on TikTok as well. The support has been
just to share, man.
amazing.
Just share it.
Yeah. Like if you're one of our mates, just hit it up there. Look, it's on your.
And then sending me a message and tell me I owe you something. I'll buy you food or coffee. How does that sound?
There you go. So if you're buying food or coffee, If you want food or coffee,
This
you
is a
guys
once
share
time
it.
offer. So once you do it, that's it. It's done. I'm not owing you food for the rest of your life.
And next week, I'm actually going to go through comments, and I'm going to shout out all those people who have left comments for us. Thank you very much for your support already.
Yeah.
That's it from us.
Yep.
Till
Happy
next
New
time.
Year.
Happy New Year, guys.